Okay, tough game. Resilient group we have, and they've been like this all year. Second night, a lot of things going against us. Had really an amazing performance by Andrew Nembhard and a lot of guys that just started in their roles in this game. And so, really, really great win, really great feeling to have a win in a difficult place like this. So really grateful for these guys and what they did.
Obviously, feel like I ask you about Andrew all the time, but 31 points, 13 assists in a moment like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that, down the line, when Hoopsite does their redraft of the 22 draft, he'd be a top 15 pick. I'm elevating that to top 10. I mean, he really is a special player, and our basketball people, Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan and Kelly and Ted, I mean, they just hit it out of the park with him. I mean, this guy's got amazing poise. He's strong. He's old school, but new school. He's just special.
It seemed like he was really able to just play his pace, and it seemed like you guys really wanted to get to the paint early, and he was able to do that. Just what did you just kind of see in his ability just to get where he wanted to on the floor and get the ball where he wanted to on the floor?
Well, our defense to start the game was really good, and it allowed us to get leverage down the court, and that made it easy for everybody. We were getting good looks. We were getting to the rim. And as the game got more difficult, as they started to hit shots and set their defense and do some trapping and zone and stuff like that, I mean, your point guard has got to be a guy that can really read situations well and handle the pressure. Not easy. And he was masterful tonight. And, he had a few turnovers, but I mean, 31 and 13 is, those are high lottery numbers.
You guys have talked a lot about this week of having some struggles with defensive connectivity. It looked like it was really there tonight. Just what was just so much better as far as just getting out to shooters and keeping guys covered tonight? Well,
look, Ron had a really good plan, but no matter what we do, it's going to be hard to guard these guys. It just is. So I think we had some good fortune with, with them missing some shots they may normally make. But, our guys played with a lot of presence to start the game. And, we were switching a lot, and, everyone was tied together. And so, a night like tonight where, we're missing a lot of our main guys, it's an opportunity for guys like Kendall Brown, who played great minutes. I mean, he just, he was great on defense. His running of the floor opened up things for us in transition. He got big rebounds. Isaiah Jackson had an enormous game. Sticks was good, and Buddy's just real consistent. I mean, he does what he does, and he's a problem out there for the other team. So, but I think the thing I'm most impressed with tonight is just the resiliency of the group. We went up, I don't know what it was, 16, and then they came back and tied it. We were able to make a run to get the lead at halftime, and then they made another run in the third, fourth, whatever it was, to get the lead. And we just kept our poise, stayed aggressive, kept playing, and that's what you got to do.
Coach, before the game, I asked you about Tyrese Halliburton's ability to limit turnovers. Now Nembhard goes out, has a high assist, low turnover game. How much do you emphasize that with your point guards, and then also against a team like the Warriors that can be so devastating in transition if you turn the ball over?
Yeah, we're blessed. We've got 3 high-efficiency point guards with Halliburton, McConnell, and Nembhard. I mean, all of them are at least or close to 3-to-1 assist turnover or better, and I think Halliburton's 4-to-1. It's a big part of the game. I mean, and that position is your nerve center for decision making on the floor. So all these guys got a really good feel for the game, a really good feel for the teammates that they're working with, and it's just and they're great people, and so it's a really fun group to work with.
Coach.
Rick.
You talked about the resiliency of the team. You got a young team missing a lot of pieces. You're playing the defending champions who make this run, and this building becomes electric when that happens. How do you explain your young team handling all that the way they did?
Well, I think some of it comes back to our point guard position. I mean, Nembhard has the ball. He's played in a lot of enormous games in college. And in the huddles, we're preaching poison aggression, but those guys got to go on the court and they've got to do it. And, but again, I just think, his impact on this game was massive. I was hoping to get him, more than 6.5 minutes rest, but it just wasn't in the cards.
You mentioned Buddy before. It seemed like a few of those times when the place was starting to get really loud, it was Buddy that hit those shots. I mean, just how important is it when your veteran gets you a shot at that point when it's, starting to go like that in that arena?
Yeah, we love Buddy. He's unapologetic about who he is. He loves the game. He lives in the gym. He's committed to being a better defender this, really end of last year and particularly this year. And, he loves these environments and he's unafraid. So, and look, you got to have guys like that out there. And, another guy, Mathurin had a bit of a frustrating night. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he kept his composure, his disposition. The dunk was a big play. He got fouled a couple times, made big free throws. So all these guys just hung in and kept playing. And this is my 38th year, I think, in the league as a player, assistant coach, head coach. And I never seen parity like this in the league, straight across the board. And it makes everyone's jobs more challenging, but it makes the NBA even more compelling, and that's a beautiful thing.
Man, the reaction was amazing. I think all the guys were just super happy for me. I know they had a lot of confidence in me, and I'm just super happy we got back in the winning column, honestly.
There were 3 different times they took a 1-possession lead, and you were able to answer each time. How big was that to make sure their crowd didn't really take over the game and then think, okay, they've got control?
Huge. I think that we've been kind of letting runs turn from 7 to 15 to 20. And I think a good thing we did today is they had 2 or 3 runs that we kind of cut short and kind of combated with one of our own.
I didn't get to ask you about the charges, but how about 2 charges taken in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that got me fired up. Those are good plays for us down the stretch.
Rookie fill-in point guards are supposed to come into the defending champs building and answer the way you did. Can you explain your performance, where that came from, how you did it?
I think it's just, man, the team has so much giving guys that want to kind of give confidence to other guys. They had super confidence in me. Coaching staff had super confidence in me. And then we just wanted to kind of stick together down the stretch, and I think it was just a good team win all together, and I ended up hitting some shots that were big.
What was the biggest challenge for you out there in handling everything that was thrown at you?
I think the biggest challenge for me is just first couple of times playing the 1 this year. I've usually been playing off the ball, getting a little bit less touches, so it's easy to kind of work my way in the game beside guys like Tyrese and TJ. So it's like this is my first couple of games, just trying to kind of generate stuff for myself a little bit, kind of get in the paint more, and kind of make more plays.
You talked about getting in the paint. Basically, it seemed like you were able to do that really easily early. I mean, what kind of allowed that? Basically, what just kind of got you into groove, just getting downhill and getting in the paint and getting some shots that way?
I think they were doing a lot of pressure defensively with Kuminga, and their ball screen coverage was up to touch. So we kind of tried to set those ball screens as close to half, so I had all that space to get downhill. it's kind of hard to stay in front of any guard when they're up so high like that. So that's why I kind of had my way getting into the paint.
I guess when you get a couple of those to fall, just how much does that sort of build momentum, not just for you, but just for everybody else?
Say it again.
When you start to get some easy layups that way and you get that started, I mean, just how much did that kind of build some confidence for you and also sort of open things up for some other guys?
Yeah, I think tonight our defense was the biggest thing for us that built us confidence on the offensive side of the ball. I think that we were really together and locked in for a majority of that game on the defensive side of the ball. And our offense is all about flow, pace, kind of moving the ball. So we're not really running too much. We're just out there hooping. So I think the defense really gave us confidence on offense.
What was so much better about that tonight? You guys have obviously talked about having some issues with connectivity over the last couple of games. This led to some big point totals on the other side. Just what got so much better tonight defensively?
I think that's what it is. I think we were more connected. We were holding each other more accountable. We were more competitive. We cared a little bit more, and we stuck together through those runs.
What does this performance do for you going forward, even if you're playing more off the ball?
I think it just gives me confidence, man. More reps, more experience is only going to help my game at this point. The game is so different from college, so it's just going to give me confidence going forward.
Tyrese has gotten a lot of attention for his crazy assist-to-turnover ratio, but you're about 3-1 this year. How much emphasis do you put on taking care of the ball, and how hard is it to do that when you play at the pace that you guys do?
It's always been my thing. I've always had a pretty good assist-to-turnover ratio. I've been kind of known as that type of guy, so especially with guys like Tyrese in the game making most of the plays, it's kind of easy for me to kind of stay in my lane with that. These last couple of games, I've had to understand when to be aggressive and understand when to just be solid and make a solid play for us instead of forcing.
What just sort of allows you to play at the pace you do without ever seeming out of control? I guess what are the things that you kind of keep in mind without ever seeming out of control?
I think it's just reps. I've been a player who's been in a lot of ball screens throughout my life, so I just feel comfortable in those situations. And the confidence from the teammates and coaching staff just allow me to kind of be aggressive and confident in those moments. Allow me to make big plays tonight.
This is a team that at the beginning of the year, a lot of people put in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Do you young guys in particular, ever address that amongst yourselves or hear that and have a response to it?
100%. We definitely all heard those kind of notions of us being the worst team and one of the worst teams in the league. And I think we got a lot of competitors. We weren't really too focused on headlines and stuff. We want to work on ourselves and keep getting better day by day, week by week. And we had a good little burst right now to start the season, but it's early. We want to continue to get better. We know that nothing's solidified at this point.
All right. Last couple of trying to make our bus time.
Not yet. I haven't looked at my phone.
I'm guessing you will.
Yeah, thanks. That's my guess.
Pretty much just locking in, you know what I mean? They're defending champs for a reason, like I said before. I mean, we knew that coming on to the second half that we was going to get their best shot and they was going to try to build their way back into the lead as they did. But we had to just stay calm and composed and making sure that we, like I said, execute to our best of our ability.
What role did Andrew have in being that calming influence when times were tough?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, for him to be a rookie in a big-time spot like that, to control the offense like that and just control the team, it showed a lot. And, I mean, it was grateful to have him, you know. I mean, obviously we had TJ out, sick, Ty, he hurt. And for him to step up like that was big time.
A week ago, he's guarding LeBron James. Tonight, he's running around chasing Steph. I mean, so a lot we'll talk about his offense, but what about his defense?
Oh, Drew is one of the toughest people on this team, you know. We know how gritty he is and how much he wants that competition, how much he wants that matchup. And, I mean, we know he's a great defender. We knew what he was going to do, so it was no shock to us.
You've seen a lot of great stuff from him already this year, so I know you're not shocked at this, but what did you see tonight that you haven't seen from him?
I just seen that leader role, you know. I mean, obviously our leader of our team is Ty and Miles, but I seen obviously with them being out, he was the one that stepped up for us, and just the way he, like he said, controlled the team and controlled the offense, it showed a lot.
What did you feel like you had to do tonight with Miles not being able to play?
I just play my game, you know, rebound, block shots, finish around the rim, make a open shot if I have it, and just pretty much just lock in on defense. Obviously, Miles not being in the game takes away a lot of rim protection, and me and Isaiah had to step up in that department. So, I mean, I feel that we handled it well.
Just to be a leader out there and just keep the guys together, make plays when I got to make plays. You know, they're tough, especially at home. You know, these guys make tough plays, tough shots. You know, we just got to stay locked in and get together as a group and just figure it out. And we did that. And you know, hats off to Andrew making big plays. You know, he's built for those type of moments. You've seen it before, so we just got to keep locking in and grinding and move on to the next one.
You say he's built for those kind of moments. We've seen it, but how amazing is it that he's doing it as a rookie, as a second-round pick?
Man, we got 2 rookies doing that. You know, we got Ben doing that, and we got him doing it. So you got to stay like those guys not shy at the moment. I think that everybody gives them the confidence to do that. You know, I've been on teams where rookies don't really have that role, but I think that everybody gives them the confidence to do that, and it was great. And everybody's helping each other's back, so it's fun to see.
What just impresses you about the pace that he's able to play with and the way that he doesn't get sped up?
I think that he brings a different pace than Ty, and they bring 2 great paces though. You know, they both never sped up, so which is they're pretty different speeds. It's kind of different, but it's kind of cool because they can both play off the ball and play on the ball, and it's great having 2 of them and playing like that.
He's obviously playing 41 minutes and having to run the offense, but he's also got that Steph assignment first. I mean, everybody obviously was switching on that too, but how impressive was he when he was able to do what he did offensively, but also play on the other end?
I mean, that's special, and that's hard to do that. Score 31, make big plays on the end guard Steph. That's special.
I mean, it seemed like you kind of took it upon yourself to hit some big shots right when they were having runs. I mean, is that something that you saw as your older night, that when it was starting to get loud in there, to be the guy to step up and take the shot?
Yeah, to focus more on opportunities come and to knock it out, step up, confidence, knock it down.
Just one more. I mean, defensively, it seemed like this was the most connected you guys have been on this trip. I mean, what did you see just sort of get better?
I think the switching 1-2-5, when you switch 1-2-5, you eliminate a lot of confusion.
Just staying calm, staying poised, just sticking to our principles. You know, no one, the whole game, everyone was trying to, just do what we can to win. No one stepped out of character, even with all the guys we had. All the guys we had out. Everyone was kind of staying with who they are, and doing everything they can to get the win.
When you guys go into a game like that and you're missing that many guys, is there something of, I guess, a bunker mentality or something like that?
Something like a what?
Like a bunker mentality. Like you guys
I don't know what that means. Bunker.
Rephrase. Just, I mean, is there, in some ways, are you kind of inspired by the fact?
I mean, before we got up, Miles was saying next man up is a great opportunity, and I feel like everyone went into the game with that mindset, just being ready for when your number's called and going there and doing everything you can to stay on the floor and get the win and help your teammates out.
You guys have had some issues with sort of defensive connectivity in the last couple of games. That was obviously a lot better tonight against the team where you really got to have it. Just what worked as far as that was concerned?
Just knowing that any slip up would result in a 3 or a big run. We kind of let up in the second quarter there and be able to catch up and tie the game. But I feel like from the start to the finish, we were all dialed in, and we just got to use this. And just move on to the next one.
You played in that game last year here where you were shorthanded as well in the second half back-to-back. Are there some similarities?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Everyone stepped up. Obviously Drew had a big game, but everyone was able to just step in and do their part. Big shout out to Kendall and Trevlin coming and doing what they can and holding down the fort.
To have 3 games where you had your 3 biggest margin of defeat in the last 3, how big was it to bounce back in this way?
Great. A great team, great arena, great fans, and just staying down and doing what we can, and it feels great.
You mentioned Andrew, obviously 31 and 13 in 41 minutes. I mean, just go through how much impressed you tonight about what he was able to do.
I knew this was coming. I knew he could do it. Me and Drew have been playing together since we were kids. And, I've seen him hoop multiple times. I've seen him destroy a lot of people. So I just know that he's capable of it. And anytime he's able to get that opportunity, I know he's gonna thrive.
Just kind of take me through the 3 you hit at the end of the half. Obviously, he gets all the way to the rim and finds you. What do you see just the play that he made there to set you up?
That's kind of how we got to play. He's able to get down the hill, anytime he can. Be his defender anytime he can. And if we're all just spacing ready for a shot, could have been anybody knocking it down. But I know where to be and just got to be ready.
Seems like
whenever it comes.